You walk through the front door after a long day, completely drained, and immediately face a second shift of demands. Dinner, chores, and unread messages wait for your attention, even when you have nothing left to give. Societal conditioning frames self-sacrifice as a baseline virtue. We are taught to view rest as a commodity that must be continually earned, rather than a biological necessity for staying functional. This pressure weaponizes the word selfish. It twists the basic instinct for psychological survival into a source of guilt, making you feel like a priority in your own life is an inconvenience to everyone else. This diagram represents a concept from Debbie Spaulding's manuscript, Choosing Peace. She argues for a mechanical redefinition of selfish. Instead of taking more than your share, it is the act of taking your share at all. Failing to claim this share results in a state of constant energy deficit. You end up attempting to pour from a reservoir that is functionally empty. Operating from this deficit eventually degrades the quality of your presence. You offer the people you love a version of yourself so stretched thin that genuine connection becomes impossible. This schematic helps audit emotional capacity as a measurable resource. By visualizing your energy as a central reservoir, you account for every input and output. These red fissures represent energy drains. Chronic complainers, anticipatory stress, and people disregarding your time siphon capacity away. To maintain the level, you need restorers, active replenishments like intentional silence, genuine connection, or fresh air pump energy back into the system. Chronic exhaustion occurs when an unaudited system allows invisible drains to outpace erratic restores. It is the result of a ledger that never balances. Mapping this emotional ledger is the mandatory first step. You cannot build operational defenses to protect your capacity until you identify where it is leaking. The soft boundary provides a mechanism for managing these siphons in real time. It allows you to guard your reservoir without resorting to total isolation. This solid barrier represents a hard boundary. Relying on it exclusively can be exhausting and creates a sense of rigid withdrawal. A soft boundary functions as a filter. It utilizes an internal pivot, a mental pause categorizing emotional demands. You silently tell yourself, this is their energy, not mine. This deliberate pause interrupts the automatic impulse to absorb external stress. By creating a few seconds of distance, you signal to your nervous system that the immediate threat has passed, preventing a reactive spike in tension. Mastering this operational filter allows you to remain present and kind while protecting your baseline peace from the turbulence of others. Silence mode describes a deliberate state of high-intention filtering. You decide exactly what enters your space, ensuring that for a set period, no external demands are permitted. This supports the daily reset, which restructures the day to prevent stress from bleeding from one morning to the next. It replaces a cycle of dread with a foundation of intentional ease. Part of this restructuring involves a linguistic shift. Swapping the phrase "I have to" for "I get to" changes the internal geometry of a task, turning a crushing weight of obligation into a supportive pillar. These structural interventions reclaim the architecture of your day. They halt the momentum of external obligations and return the authority over your schedule to you. Implementing a system of peace often triggers immediate resistance from your environment. As you stop absorbing the chaos of others, the ripple effect of their stress will hit your new boundaries. You will likely face button pushers, individuals who escalate their demands to provoke the old reactive version of you. They push harder because your new filters have disrupted their unlimited access to your energy. The phrase, "it is what it is," functions as a declaration of emotional sovereignty. It marks the moment you choose a deliberate response, instead of having an automatic, high-stress reaction. You acknowledge that while you cannot control external chaos or the behavior of others, you retain ultimate authority over how much of yourself you give to it. The guilt of putting yourself first erodes through consistent practice. Every time you choose your peace and nothing catastrophic happens, you build operational evidence that your well-being is not optional. Consistently protecting your baseline peace builds a foundation for genuine connection. By choosing yourself, you develop a version of yourself whole enough to truly show up for the people who matter.